Gamblers gamble to gamble. This is a very important phrase that you should keep in mind as we discuss Kakegurui, because gambling portrayed in media is all about the suspense. All that matters are the stakes. You need interesting stakes to make the gamble interesting, obvious I'd say. But in reality that couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, gambling is about gambling, period. And that's exactly what Kakegurui is about. While on the surface, Kakegurui is essentially a story about the battle of wits, the kind of story where the protagonist goes around systematically outsmarting everyone, and the thrill comes from how dramatically she does so. The protagonist, Jabami Yumeko, is the focal point character, but she's never the viewpoint character. Her actions are always seen from the perspective of others. This adds a sense of mystery, and we never actually find out what she thinks until her tricks are revealed. While the protagonist, Yumeko, doesn't always win, she cannot truly be defeated because she revels in the spirit of gambling more than anyone else. She is the personification of compulsive gambling, which is a direct translation of the title of the anime, Kakegurui, and is by definition an uncontrollable urge to keep gambling despite the toll it takes on your life. It's clear from the title that Kakegurui is about the addiction, the madness, the thrill and ecstasy of gambling. Most of the characters in the anime gamble for fun, thrill, status and sexual excitement, rather than monetary gain. They take on high risks because they get a kick of dopamine out of it, not because they are poor. After all, the majority are rich. Jabami Yumeko is basically made of money, so no matter how much she bets, it's insignificant. Also, there isn't really a sense of danger for her throughout the entire anime, so therefore the stakes are insignificant, which is something that the anime purposely makes obvious. The stakes do not matter. Gambling anime like Akagi or Kaiji are all about the stakes, the drama, the tension, the psychological battles of people willing to risk their lives on even the simplest of games. But Kakegurui is not like that. It's not thought-provoking, there's hardly any strategy or any logical analysis involved. It's not about the win or how you win. It's not about the consequences either. It's about the gambling itself and the addiction. Yumeko is a gambling addict. For an addict, the stakes don't matter, the reward doesn't matter. It's only the gamble itself that matters. When you're addicted, winning becomes the same as the anticipation. And what I mean by that? Say you play at a roulette. You place your bet and then you wait. That waiting is the anticipation. Will it be the color that you chose? If it is, good. If it's not, good. Your brain doesn't generate dopamine when you win, when you receive a reward. It generates when your brain anticipates that you will get a reward. And this is definitely sustained in the anime, especially by Midari, the crazy girl with a gun who plays Russian roulette. When she's in the toilet and plays Russian roulette by herself, you can see the excitement provoked by the dopamine rush of the anticipation of either getting herself shot in the head or not. The same thing is shown when she gambles with Yumeko, only that this time is way more intense. A compulsive gamble such as Yumeko will always and only gamble for that overwhelming feeling of excitement, not to win a reward. As long as she can gamble, she is in 7th heaven, her brain is euphoric and that's all she desires. Maniuda, one of the council members, blatantly states in episode 9 that Yumeko simply gets off to gambling. There's no other reason as to why she gambles. Yumeko is quite literally filled with insane pleasure as she watches two people mindlessly raising the bets of a game to the point of putting billions on the line. The ultimate pleasure for her is to bet everything she has, to risk her own life and others' lives to feed her gambling addiction. Everyone in Kakegurui gambles mainly because they crave the thrill. I say mainly because some of the other characters have an additional reason on top of the thrill. Some gamble to raise their status in the academy, some for protection, sexual excitement, and some minor characters gamble for monetary gain. But all of them are there because they want to gamble. And where do you go when you want to gamble? The setting of the anime could easily be interpreted as a literal luxurious casino rather than a high school. Even the students' uniforms are similar to those of casino dealers. Heck, the opening song has a strong casino feeling to it, only that is altered to fit this crazy, exaggerated aspect of the anime. The inspiration for the games comes from a variety of different sources, but they are all transformed to have gambling aesthetics. The currency to bet for every game are casino chips. To me, the anime is unmistakably casino themed, which ties very accurately to the Japanese perspective on gambling and casinos. Casinos have existed for decades. Most people in the West don't find them negative. Some people gamble for fun, some people gamble to pay their rent, and so on. It's not abnormal. However, gambling and therefore casinos were illegal in Japan until 2016. Japan hadn't had a single casino until maybe late 2017. The sources aren't very accurate. People definitely knew about casinos. Some of them maybe gambled even though it was illegal. Now, can you imagine what happened when casinos and gambling were legalized? A huge number of people started to gamble and got addicted, which was natural to happen. Japan is a country that knows gambling addiction is a problem, and they've taken a lot of measures to ensure that addiction is discouraged. Restricted how many times a person can visit a casino, introduced a high entering fee, and so on. That's a reason why to Japan, gambling is one of those things that is exciting all the time. While in the West, gambling is normal. It has been legal for decades, hundreds of films were made about gambling, probably everyone gambled at least once in their life. That's why people in the West put more focus on why you lose rather than why you fail when you gamble. That's why the consequences and the rewards are not the main focus of Kakegurui. They are not important to the Japanese people, as they are more interested in trying and having a taste of that feeling, that thrill of gambling. Speaking of the thrill of gambling, what about those orgasms that are quite frequent in the anime? Are they just fanservice? Or maybe there's some meaning behind them? Well, they might be used to show in an exaggerated manner what gambling addiction feels like. It fills you with such pleasure to the point of becoming orgasmic. Combine that with those twisted, maniac facial expressions, and I'd say the contrast does a pretty good job. I think that based on Japan's current view on gambling, there is a good chance that Kakegurui was deliberately made to have a central casino theme, and to show how destructive the addiction can be, how it can control and command your life if you allow it to take over you. And maybe throw shades at how cheating is a huge part of gambling. I don't mean literal, but more towards how gambling games are designed to give the players a small chance of winning. But speculations aside, concerning gambling itself, Kakegurui is quite spectacular. For those who say Kakegurui is a bad gambling anime, you have no idea what she's saying. It's the perfect gambling anime, one that finally focuses on only the gambling itself. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't watched Kakegurui, now is the best time to watch it as the second season is about to air. If you're interested, please check the link in the description, which will take you to Kiss Anime